Greetings, fellow conquerors, and welcome back to His Royal Majesty King Edward V, England. Forgot the possessive there. So, it's been a while since I recorded the last episode. My voice is a little bit shot this morning, and I apologize for that. But we're sitting here, and we're thinking about what are our options for expansion. And we talked about last time going to war with Brittany, who is friendly with us, actually. Wow, we would lose stability for attacking them. That's unfortunate. And the reason we were going to go attack Brittany, and the reason for this is because Portugal and Castile would join, and Austria would join soon. And we'd be fighting Burgundy, his vassals, plus Brittany. And that's pretty much it. Oh, and the Papal State, apparently. I felt like our alliance was superior in this instance. Now, the other option is we could attack France, but the problem is Castile is friendly towards France, which is a problem. And we can't really attack Kildare either, because for Castile and Portugal, it's a distant war. And Austria... yeah, even Austria wouldn't join because they just don't have a reason to, and Denmark is protecting them, and Denmark is actually managing to maintain his union, so that's just not really an option for us at this point in time. We don't have the famed English navy that we probably should. Now, we are making 14 ducats a month without maxed out maintenance. How much would we make if we brought it up? We'd still be making 9 ducats a month. Even if we, started paying our troops, basically. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna build a value cannon. We're gonna build 2 value cannons actually, because we really need to get some troops going. And then we're gonna wait for Austria to join us in the war. Yeah, we're gonna build 2 cannons because we're gonna split the army into 2, basically. Sorry. And then let's see. How much cav do we have? Or, yeah, cav. We have 8 cav, which would mean 4 per army out of like a 20 stack, so about 20% cav. I think that's a reasonable amount. And, oh, yes, we are definitely going to pick up 25% reduced coring cost. That is fantastic. What a time to be alive. We're going to train some more infantry as well. We could afford to have more than just a value cannon, but at this point in the game, the benefit they provide for their cost is nominal. And France just left the coalition against us. You know, good for them. I'm glad they figured out their priorities. Yeah, we're just going to trade a bunch of infantry. You know, this is a fun fact. I'll go ahead and talk about this. In the actual 100 Years' War, there was the famed battle called the Battle of Agincourt. And in this battle, you think you've seen some good stack wipes in EU4? Get a load of this. The English were outnumbered by like 5,000, I believe. They had like 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 7,000 to 9,000 by reports. You know, history wasn't as accurate back then. Against a French force of something like 14,000, the English fought them in a marsh. They fought the French using almost nothing but longbowmen and a very small contingent of cavalry, and the French used almost nothing but cavalry. The English defeated the French at a ratio of something like, I don't know. They managed to kill about 10,000, they defeated about 10,000 of the French and the rest routed, and the English lost about, get this, 100 troops. Not 1,000, not 100, 100. Burgundy gains a claim on Paris. Well, good for them, I guess. I mean, they are our rival, so... But yeah, get a load of that. If you don't believe me, just look it up. It's the craziest thing. Okay, so this situation is actually perfect now. We're going to get about probably 25, maybe a little bit more development from this war. And hopefully we're going to smash Burgundy and cut him down to size, essentially. Now we could afford more troops, so I'm going to do that. Let's train 3 more cav. 2 more cav's probably good, actually. And we'll do 1 more infantry. And then when we do that, we'll split the army. We still have some mercs. About 5 regiments from the look of it, but that's fine. I'm fine paying for some of our troops so that we don't have to use the manpower. Although having manpowerless troops is better. One thing we can start doing now that we actually have money is just building a bunch of light ships. But first, I want to build another heavy ship because I think we need to celebrate the rise of the Yorkist or the York dynasty. Alright, Kildare has annexed a bunch of land. Denmark, of course, would still join them. But, you know, that gives us something else to work with here. Let's see. Let's go ahead and raise maintenance. Alright, we are taking attrition now. So I want to get these troops into the province, and then we'll split. It is a little bit lazy, I admit. But yeah, we're going to split the army in half. Which means we have, 14 infantry, 5 cavalry, and 1 cannon. Seems reasonable. And we need another military leader. We don't, however, have enough power projection to actually afford another one. And we are still way ahead of time on military tech, so let's go ahead and roll some generals then. Yeah, 2-2's fine. And because our military points are so high, and because we have a 6 military leader, I am going to go ahead and, use her. And use our military points to pay for a 2nd general, since we can't actually, afford that. We are going to buy an admin advisor. And do we want a diplo advisor? We could get morale of navies. Ooh. Alright, we're going to wait for morale to tick up, and then we're going to start this war. Oh, the Papal State would join now. That's a shame. I would have liked to get them without, but we didn't have the army we wanted at the time. But we're going to go ahead and declare the war. Now, this could be rough because Austria is potentially going to be tied up in Italy against the Papal State, which could make things difficult. But we're going to go ahead and declare war. And yes, I know, stability. That sucks. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. Again, with cookies. Alright, we taught them a lesson for messing with the English fleet. Let's go ahead and blockade them, actually, now that I think about it. Can this army move anywhere else? No, so we're just taking attrition there. Okay. Now, what kind of odds are we facing here? Well, we outnumber them almost 2-1 on over 2-1 on infantry, almost 3-1 on 2-1 on cavalry, and 2-1 on cannons. So I'm not particularly worried. Now, would we beat them to this province? The answer is no. But we would catch them there in the farmlands. Let's do that then. Go ahead and smash Brittany's army here. Burgundians did join. And that slight Burgundian morale advantage is going to prove problematic. I really hope we don't get stack wiped here, but Aragon and Castile are joining the fight very soon. So we should be fine. I'm going to go ahead and move the troops out. Get some more morale. Oh, Pope's moving in. That's a problem. Really hope we don't get squished here. I don't think we will. Yeah. Right, they're out of morale. Castile looks like he's going to bail us out of the fight, though. So yeah, this is a problem I kind of foresaw playing as England, is that our troops just are not up to par with other nations because we get absolutely no bonuses when it comes to our army. We have to rely solely on our power projection and our prestige. You gonna join the fight there, Castile? Thank you. And we lost anyway because you didn't join in time. Oh my goodness. Our army is getting just kicked around. Now this is partially due to our lack of military tradition, admittedly. Let's go ahead and move back to our other provinces here. I will begin besieging Picardy. There a particular reason this 3 stack's going for it? Yeah, I didn't think so. Now that those manpower upgrades we've gotten are certainly going to be useful. I'm going to wait until after the war to upgrade our Diplo tech. But, you know, losing all these battles is going to improve our army tradition, at least somewhat. So that's really good. I'm really happy about that. I guess they're expecting us to join this battle here. So we're going to do that. Now, I don't believe any of them have a tech advantage, which is what makes it especially bizarre, I guess, that we're getting thrashed so hard. It could also be generals as well. You know, numbers aren't everything in EU4. But even then, our generals are more or less equivalent. So yeah, it's really, I guess it just must be that 0.2 morale advantage that they've got over us for whatever reason. I wish I could see Burgundy's power projection, but I mean, you'd think with our prestige we'd be doing a lot better. Unfortunately, that does not appear to be the case. We're gonna move the blockade over to over to the Straits of Dover so that we can blockade Picardy. And yeah, the war's going very well at this point. The debate in Parliament is over, so we need to start a new debate. Recruitment time and regiment costs. So regiment costs is also a 10% reduction in maintenance, which is really good. Advisor costs sounds nice, but if we think about it, if we look at our advisors here, see, a +2 advisor is going to cost us, so it would save us, if we had all 3 level 2 advisors, we would save a ducat and a half per month, which is pretty strong. But when you consider that, let's see, how much are we spending on military maintenance? Army maintenance alone would be 2 ducats a month, so that would be much more cost efficient. Not to mention recruitment. Oh, I thought it was recruitment costs, but I mean the regiment costs are going to reduce recruitment costs as well, so that's pretty good. Culture conversion cost could be interesting, but not really interested in that specifically. Land attrition minus 5% sounds fantastic. I wish we could see if anyone was interested in supporting these. But yeah, let's go with the land maintenance, and already 85% support for this. So I will happily lose 5 Navy tradition to gain the land maintenance and land attrition minus 5%. Oh, I thought it was just like the flat 5%. Turns out it's an overall 5%. So that's actually kind of terrible. I thought it sounded too good to be true, but oh well. We still have the land maintenance reduction, which is really going to help us out. I need a personal thanks to my allies in this war who have carried our incompetent troops into the fray, into the fore. Now, if I'd bought that level 2 morale advisor, I'm almost certain we would have won those battles. It didn't help that we didn't really reinforce in the time that we needed to, and I'm playing a little bit faster than I probably should be in a war, admittedly. But that's okay. I think we're doing fine after those initial battles, though our manpower is kind of hurting a bit. Good stuff. I'm gonna dock up for like a couple months just to get our ships fixed up there. Let's see. Austria has apparently occupied most of the Papal State. We're gonna go war reps. and give us all your money. There we go. That actually lowers our overall war score, but at this point it doesn't really matter. I'm fairly certain we're going to full occupy Burgundy, and once we do that, we are going to make them release some vassals, for sure. And with the reduction of Burgundy in size and strength, we basically are going to become the dominant power in Europe in terms of just raw numbers and money, which is pretty important, I would say. Now I want to build a temple and a barracks. So let's see. A good place to build a temple would probably be, let's see, probably actually here in Lothian, just because we've got that bonus from the Parliament modifier. And then let's build a barracks here in Kent. Yeah, Kent seems like it'd be a good province for that. I'm gonna go ahead and pop another rank of pop some more military development. Yeah, this seems like a fairly obvious choice. 50% more taxes for an entire year, or 40 ducats. We'll go 50% taxes. That sounds fantastic. Well, it's tax efficiency, I guess, but alright, we're gonna attack this army. We're outnumbered. They have no cavalry. This should be a stomp. Okay. This is going better than I expected. Wow, we're rolling zeros after zeros. Jeez. We lost almost as much as they did there. Which is terrible. Why are we doing so bad? Why are our armies so bad, you know? Must be the longbowmen. Oh, and then they get stack wiped by their own noble rebels. Oh, brutal. Now, one thing I'm loving about playing a larger nation is that our manpower is doing just fine. Let's see. Next, let's see. Our navy's good to go again. Yeah, our first idea that we unlock is going to be better boats. Yeah, better heavy ships in yearly Navy tradition. Yeah, we're going to be taking a lot of ideas to improve our land army, because it is not up to snuff. I'm thinking probably defensive ideas and quality ideas, because we need better troops. Numbers aren't going to be a problem, I don't think. We've already got, I mean, for crying out loud, 47 force limit, and it's only 1480. So I'm not particularly worried about our force limit ever, for the most part. But yes, the situation with what happened here against the Burgundians is rather concerning. Now, well, Burgundy gets 10% morale of armies as a tradition, so I feel less bad about it now. Let's see, cruelty of mercenaries. For 5 years, mercenary maintenance and available mercenaries minus 15. That sounds... Or we can get minus 10 prestige, and Burgundy gets terrorized by mercenaries. Yeah, go ahead. Ravage Burgundy. Yep. That's only Burgundy's land is affected by that +8 modifier, including their war exhaustion. They have 11 war exhaustion right now. Oh my goodness. And as for the request of my council, who I listen to very carefully because they have many useful things to tell me, we're going to take all their money as well, all their worldly possessions, anything that's left, basically. Surprised that's not a call for peace, but then again, maybe I'm not that surprised about it. The Duke of Burgundy oh no! Well, this sucks. Well then, You know, maybe we should have pieced out sooner. But now that Austria has inherited the throne of Burgundy, which is really shitty, honestly, especially since he got all of that for free. It's not all bad news because eventually the Dutch are going to break free, right? Like eventually they're going to become a thing, and when that happens, Austria is going to be probably in a bit of a pickle, and by that point we may not even be allies anymore. That being said, we could probably eke out a pretty good peace deal against Brittany at this point. How's our aggressive expansion looking overall? We've only got 16 with France, who is kind of like the worst of all the people. Now, even if we took, how much development is this? Let's see, how much development? We got 17, so 34, 49, 61, 71 development. 70% overextension. Yeah. The only people in the coalition would be Brittany, who is only going to have one province. As well as France, who we plan on attacking anyway, and Dauphine, who we don't really care about. So, yeah, we're just going to do that. We're going to take all of their worldly possessions, of course. And we're just going to annex them. Yeah. Because we can. Now, these are all territories it's worth mentioning, but we're fine. We are doing pretty great, actually. Now, some of these, now, thankfully, it's not all bad news. The only lands that went back to, that went to Austria are basically the Netherlands, and like he doesn't even have Burgundead. I believe is how you pronounce that. The actual province of Burgundy, or Dijon. So it's not all bad news, but what I do want to check now is I want to see how strong France actually is. He's back up to 368 development. Now that is a problem because if he manages to get big enough, it's going to cause us problems. But we're at almost 500 development, and we haven't even we're only like 40. Yeah, we're 40 years into the game, and we've already got almost 500 development under our belt here. So we are off to an extremely good start. We are going to go ahead and pick up Tech 7 Diplo, which should help. Yeah, that'll help reduce our corruption, which is very nice. And I believe we can pay back this loan now. Man, we pay almost 2 ducats a month on interest when we take out loans. That is rough. Now, how does Austria feel now that we're neighbors? He's a little bit worried about our aggressive expansion. But we can marry him. And that's going to bump things up. And then we're going to improve relations as well. I'm also going to improve relations with Castile. I didn't realize we have 100 spy, 100 power in our spy network against France here. I'm going to go ahead and take the province of Champagne. And I'm going to take the province of, or claim the province of Vermandois. And then it is 40 to fabricate our next claim. Which is unfortunate, but what can you do? Now, I was banking on getting some power projection in that war, but it didn't happen because the King of Burgundy died. Because of course he did. And then we're going to, but we're going to head and go, we're going to delete the leader in this army because we don't really need the services anymore. Oh, the Cardinal event again. Yeah, I don't really care. We don't need Cardinals. Our truce with the Ottomans have ended. Yeah, because the truce with on Austria's ended. So we're making about 300 manpower a month, which is pretty good. I'm going to lower maintenance for a while. Get some money back. France is going to annex Anjou, which is 21 development. It's not insignificant. I'm going to go ahead and detach mercs as well, even though our manpower situation is a little suboptimal, to say the least. Not the war we wanted, but in effect, it did the same thing that we wanted anyway. And Austria doesn't want our provinces, so I'm going to call that just a complete and total victory. We're going to improve relations with them, for sure. And next, the next choice of expansion is fairly obvious to me. We're going to fabricate on France, and we're going to plan to take some of his land in an upcoming war. Probably going to wait the full 10 years, unfortunately, until we can actually declare war again. I would really like to attack Kildare, but Denmark needs to get into a war where he's actually going to lose. And unfortunately, Muscovy is getting crushed for once. Like, Denmark even took Novgorod from him. So Denmark is doing pretty well for himself, I would say, which could prove problematic later. But anyway, thank you. This was the first 25-minute episode I've recorded, so for those of you who were asking for it, I hope this is what you were looking for. And, fellow conquerors, fellow Englishmen, I hope you'll join me next time. I'll see you then.